couldn't find any action off the Peddlers. And we're going to game number 4. Terrence fending off the sweep for now. But now Shaman and Warlock have to pick up those wins.
Yeah, that's a bold call to just play that Doomsayer out there like that as well. And that's one of those plays where it's not obvious. Play the Doomsayer and then Ice Lance a damaged Dark Iron Dwarf. That's not an easy play, and it's a play that won Terrence the game effectively. Chakki didn't find good draws on his Dark Peddlers. He threw out a lot of his board to try and find something to either pop the block or deal with the Doomsayer. It couldn't, and Terrence was rewarded. So looks like we're going to go to the good old-fashioned Zoo Mirror, which I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of today. Terrence is a player that in the past I feel like has played a lot of Arena Lock, but it's the day and age of the Zoo.
Some pretty strong hands in both players as well. Terrence actually natural Mortal Coil in the build, but Chakki's hand with 3 minions. This is like 3 Argent Squires effectively. Like this is a pretty good open. And Chakki with that power overwhelming will be able to answer the Darkshire Councilman as well. So we'll see if Forbidden Ritual can maybe break this stalemate a bit. Chakki picks up Defender of Argus here, so kind of looking forward to those turns are coming up. Will take the trade, doesn't want Knife Juggler to kind of rain terror on this board.
The light protects me.
That's a pretty solid opening, though, especially with Possessed Villager. So much better with Power Overwhelming now. Instead of like in the past, those 1-drops would be either like Voidwalker or Argent Squire. This leaves something around, which is a pretty big deal.
Yep. Possessed Villager Power Overwhelming, like you said, it's so good. It was such a big buff to effectively Argent Squire in this build.
Still does not hold a candle to the old Nerubian Egg.
No,
but nonetheless, a great drop to sort of add to the repertoire of the Zoo.
Well, but significant board presence here from Chakki will land a double minion Defender of Argus next turn. And that's one of those devastating plays that happens in this matchup is when a player gets to Defender of Argus and clear this off. It's going to start with Mortal Coil. And we'll see how he wants to finish after this. Oh, that Flame Imp's going to get chewed through, and Chakki's going to have a massive board lead.
Yeah.
Wow, this is so good for Chakki.
I mean, I feel like we've been saying that so many times throughout the course of this series, but that's just been how it's going for Terrence throughout this matchup. And I mean, he has had some pretty solid plays, but Chakki's just getting that initiative with those 3 1-drops, and TerrenceM being forced to, try and play that reactive style, which doesn't usually work out when you're playing against a Zoo. You want to be able to be the one making the trades instead of the one watching your opponent make the trades.
This is going to get chewed through as well. Chakki even draws Dart Peddler to fill out the curve. So this looks like Flame Imp and Imp Gang Boss, and then Knife Juggler and Evaluate.
Yeah. And he's trading first before he plays that Knife Juggler.
We'll trade the Argent Squire once the guaranteed hit here.
Yeah. Or very likely hit.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he has to trade in that Defender of Argus, he's still pretty happy. And, oh, man. Absolutely brutal.
Brutal for Terrence. Takes 6 more damage on top of this. 2 more damage on top of this as well. That draw is not going to get it done. Forbidden Ritual looks awful in the face of a Knife Juggler here. No way to answer it. Just Chakki's open was just too much.
Yeah. I mean, Forbidden Ritual a lot of times can be the start of a comeback against Zoo because you're putting out so many minions on the board. It's hard for your opponent to trade. You can use buffs next turn, but with a Knife Juggler staring at him on the other side of the board, he already knows that Chakki could make favorable trades across this board. So, I mean, this is even just a lot of damage. 4, 8...
15 damage if this juggle somehow goes to face. Now, this is going to clear up the entire board as well.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, even if you leave all of your stuff at 1 health, like, that's how you play this matchup, is you just trade endlessly. And, Doomguard from Terrence, but it's just not enough. Well played comes out. That's going to be a concede. Chakki takes the win, takes the series. He's going to be moving on to face Just Saying in the winners round.
Yeah, I mean, what is there to say about that game? Chakki opened very strong with Zoo, checked the Darkshire Councilman, landed a Defender of Argus on an Argent Squire that traded into a Flame Imp. That's game in the Zoo Mirror.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. All there is to say about that one. But Terrence, of course, not out of the tournament yet. He will move down to the lower bracket the elimination match to face off against Phone Tap to see who's going to stay alive and make it to the decider match. Of course, at the end of the day, 2 players will be moving on from Group A to make it to that final day on Sunday to compete for that $6,000 prize pool, and of course to compete for that spot at the One Nation of Gamers LAN finals, the $20,000 LAN finals, which happen at PAX Prime at the end of the year. But I believe we have a winners match coming up next. I believe is what the schedule says, which will be Chakki and okay, yes, I have confirmed it is winners match. Chakki versus Just Saying. So that's a good matchup. We're going to have to take a quick break before we jump into that match, but don't go anywhere, guys. More One Nation of Gamers 2016 circuit action right after this.